I'm Rob Kellick, and today we're going to talk about fire extinguishers. We need to understand that if we have a fire on site within the realm of where we're working, we need to understand the proper techniques in which to handle that situation. And if we're properly trained, before you ever get into extinguishing activity, you must be trained on how to do that. Then we can actively get involved with it. So always remember, when in doubt, get out. And the building will be replaced. You cannot. So with that said, let's talk about the fire classifications. Now we talked a little bit about this in your SDS program under section 5, what a fire is, and there are 5 classes of those fires. We're going to discuss that right now. So without further ado, fire extinguishers, we're going to be dealing with class A, B, C, D, and finally K. We need to understand how fires exist. Now, the old terminology of the fire triangle was accepted up until about the 80s, where we got to understand fire chemistry a little bit better. And we now have gone into what we call a fire tetrahedron. Now, a fire tetrahedron just adds another or 4th element to the fire triangle, which make a sort of a fire pyramid. So we still have the original sources. We have the heat source, we have the fuel source, we have the oxygen sufficiency in order to sustain that heat. There's also another factor that we can put into play, and that is the uninhibited chain reaction of those chemicals. And that's where we get into systems, the older systems like halon, which actually don't take oxygen out of the air. They don't remove the heat, they don't remove the fuel, but flames cannot exist because of the chemical interruption. Now, since halon no longer is manufactured in the world since 1994, we actually now have a new system that's out there. It's called FM200, which pretty much does the same thing, but it's not harmful to the environment like halon is. Halon has actually been proven to be an ozone killer, so we don't want to be utilizing that any more than necessary. So with that understanding, chemicals that are airborne in the environment, certain chemicals like FM200, will actually prevent the heat, the oxygen, and the fuel from coming together and forming that fire environment. So we need to understand the classes of fires, because each one represents the materials and possibilities of a flame to exist. So in an A-class fire, we're talking about something that's going to leave a remnant or an ash. And then simply put, we're looking at something that will burn and leave behind a remnant. Plastic, wood, paper, cotton, you are Class A fire material. So when you get burnt and you don't burn completely up, that remnant is left over. So Class A fires, the best extinguisher we have for those is water. So if we cool it down, take away the heat source, we can extinguish the flame. Now Class B extinguishers, these are flammable vapor fires. So these come from a liquid source that the vapors have been able to escape from those liquid sources that have heated up enough to start off-gassing, get exposed to a heat source, have enough oxygen, and then the flame exists. So B fires are more than likely going to be your fuels, your paint thinners, oils and greases, things of that nature. How we put those out, there's several practices, but in particular, Class B needs to be smothered. And when we do that, we put kind of like a foam on it or a powder which flushes it out or stops it. So with that, Class B extinguishers, that's going to take away that gasoline that you might have on the job site. Class C fires are electrical or what we call resistant generated, energy generated fires. And these actually will start out as a spark, arc, and flame and get so hot that the surrounding materials will continue to burn and not so much the electrical conductive material like copper or aluminum. When we have that, C usually generates an A or B fire, whatever it's roughly connected to. The most common ones we'll deal with are going to be your Class A fires because of the surrounding material. The insulation on wiring is plastic in nature, and therefore if you heat it up enough, it starts to catch fire as well. So C fires are generated from electricity initially, but are the starters of your Class A's and your Class B's, but they can also start your Class D fires in certain situations. D fires are specialty fires, and they're more metal-based than not. We're talking about magnesium, potassium, sodium, phosphorus. These are just titanium. These are just some examples of potential D-class fires. So your A, B, and C extinguishers that you commonly have on a job site will not extinguish these fires. They'll control them, keep them from getting too big, but they will not stop or extinguish them. And you would need a specialty material to do that. Powdered copper, powdered potassium. These are some examples of what would be inside a Class D extinguishing agent. And then finally, you have something that you'll see out in your personal lives, and that is a Class K fire. These are your kitchen-based fires, your deep fat fryers, your grills, things of that nature. They require something that's light in nature, lighter than your oils, so they sit on top. Because anytime you put water into a boiling pot of oil, water's heavier than oil, it's going to go underneath, turn it into steam, expand, and spew out all the oil on top of it, which makes the whole situation a lot worse. With K fire extinguishers, they are a lighter material than oils, so they will sit on top in a foamy state of being and prevent oxygen from getting in, and also draw cooling effects to the surface of that material to slow down the off-gassing of that material. So remember, we've got A, B, C, D, and K. When you look in Section 5 of your SDS sheets, this will tell you what kind of fire extinguishers that you need in order to make sure that happens. So that's our classifications of fires. If you have any questions or concerns, please review this one more time. If you still have questions, please give us a call here at Ultimate Group. That's what we're here to do, is get you the information you need so that way you're safe out in the field and you can go home better than you came in the morning. As always, remember, safety is not a mindset, it's a state of mind. You have a good day.